up, I'm going to point to you in turn, okay? And I just want you to mention the name of a food. So, for example, I might point to Jinwon and he'll say orange. Easy? Okay, I'm going to point to Anna. She'll say chicken, okay? You've got 3 seconds. If you don't say the name of a food in 3 seconds, I'm afraid you're out of the game. But don't worry, it won't change your life.
Right, so we're going to continue with academic writing today. Now we've looked at understanding the task, at brainstorming for ideas, structuring those ideas and linking them into paragraphs. Today we're going to look at actually noting them down in an academic style. So we're going to be looking at the grammar and style for academic writing today. Okay? We're going to start off with vocabulary, particularly now phrasal verbs. We're going to be looking at phrasal verbs.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. How are you? Good. I'm going to show you a picture. Tell me, it's some writing. Tell me what it is. Could you tell me what it is? What kind of writing? It's a letter, absolutely. It's a letter. Okay, I'm going to show you another piece of writing. Could you tell me what this is?
Today we're going to look at ways of improving our writing, and we're going to look at lots of examples of texts and how we can organise text better, and hopefully that will help you with all types of your writing. Before we start, with a partner, could you make a note of what makes a good piece of writing? Try and think of some aspects. For example, grammatical accuracy is important. Can you think of some other things that are important when you're writing? What's a teacher looking for when he's marking a piece of work?
We're going to start off with vocabulary, particularly now phrasal verbs. We're going to be looking at phrasal verbs.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. How are you? Good. I'm going to show you a picture. Tell me, it's some writing.
What's your reaction to the various clips we've seen of the different ways teachers start their lessons?
It wasn't actually a great surprise. I think there are a few sort of standard ways of introducing a lesson. You can express your sort of intentions for that lesson, your goals for that lesson, which, as I remember, most of the other teachers did, perhaps not in quite as much detail as I did with summary of previous lessons. Another way that I remember one of the teachers, Louise, starting a lesson was with a game, with a bit of a warmer, which again I like to do quite frequently to put students in a good mood and a sort of frame of mind that is good for learning.
In the clip of you teaching, you started with quite a detailed explanation of what the students were going to be doing in the lesson. Why did you decide to do it like that?
I did that in that lesson because it was a very focused course. It was a grammar and writing course, and we had some very clear goals for a number of weeks of focusing on academic writing, and I divided the skill of academic writing into several sub-skills, which we covered. We covered one sub-skill each week, and then built from that, developed that. And I think it's important for students to know what they're doing in this next lesson and how that fits in with the whole picture.
But I gather from what you've said so far that in other lessons you might start in a completely different way.
Very different way. Some lessons I won't actually announce what we're going to do in that lesson at all. I might leave a bit of suspense. If I'm doing more of a skills lesson, so concentrating more on reading, speaking, listening, I might focus more on the topic, try and engage the students in the topic, and in that way you can lighten the mood of the lesson, make it less academic, so they can almost forget perhaps that they're studying English and get absorbed by the subject. For example, in a lesson I've been teaching this week, we did some work with a video of the beach, using also the book of the beach. And to start the lesson, I sat them down and I told them I was going to read part of a text. and I was going to describe a scene. And I wanted them, as I was reading, to close their eyes and allow a picture to be conjured up in their mind. And when I'd finished reading it, I wanted them to draw that picture onto a piece of paper. So they didn't have a clue what we were going to be studying, what the topic was going to be. But they did that, they enjoyed it, and they drew their beach, and we then read the text in more detail afterwards, and they judged their pictures to decide whose was most accurate. And that's when they said, is this from the film of The Beach? I said, well, it kind of is. Another student said, it's from the book of The Beach. I said, yes, that's right. Then we went on to read the same section of to watch the same section of the video, to do a bit more reading from the book. And I didn't announce to them what we were going to do at all, and they got into the theme.
And as a result, they were sort of very engaged by the time they actually came to do the reading and stuff like that.
That's it, and I think if they are engaged in the actual topic, when they're not focusing on what they need to learn, trying to think about rules and things like that, then they absorb things very well, very naturally.
How carefully do you plan how you start lessons? I mean, do you think about it very carefully, or is it something that sort of comes naturally, as it were, because you're an experienced teacher?
These days, as you say, I think it comes more naturally. I'm sure when I started out, I put a lot of planning into every stage of the lesson, but I tend to, I think, at every stage of a lesson these days, adapt to the situation, walk into a classroom and almost sense what the mood is in there and react to it. And obviously it comes with the activity that we're going to start off with. And as I said, the goal for the lesson, whether you're focusing on language or skills, it comes naturally with those decisions.
Okay, clear the table. Good. Okay, now here is a pile of words, all right? What I want you to do is spread the words out, face up, all over the table. Not in rows, just all over the table, like this. Okay? Yes, that's right. Spread them all over. Good. Okay, can you all put your hands on your knees? And now on your head. No, I'm joking. Just on your knees. Okay, now I'm going to read these words out, okay? As I read each word, you have to grab it, all right? Just grab it. And you have to grab it before the rest of the people in your group. So don't be polite, okay? I'm going to read a word, you snatch it. Don't let other people snatch it, but don't fight, okay? So don't be polite, but don't be violent either. Okay, hands on knees.
Sorry.
The first word, are you ready? Is recipe. Recipe. Okay. Can you do me a favour, actually? If you snatch the word, can you hold it up in the air and say, got it?
Got it.
Okay. Rare.
Got it.
Okay. Dish.
What?
Got
Dish.
it. Got it.
If you get it, keep it. If you get it, keep it. Okay? Oven.
I got it.
Careful. Yes, hands on knees, because some people have long arms. Sweet. Bake. Cook. Yes, good. If you've got any cookers left, right? Okay. Beef. You're not so violent over there. Be careful. This is the dangerous one. Chop. Okay, right, so everybody gets the last one. Right, what I want you to do, well, count up how many you've got first, and we'll find out who the fastest reader and snatcher is.
8.
9, wow. 8 or 9? Who, how many?
11.
11, 11, so you both won, well done. Okay, and you won with 8? 9. Oh, 9. 14. Huh? 14? Anna, well done, 14. 8? 10? 11? 4, 11, okay. So well done, Anna, with 14 there.
Okay guys, so we've been doing education all of this week, lots of vocabulary. So this afternoon we're just going to have a quick vocab quiz before we start to wake you up after lunch, and then use the vocabulary, lots of listening and speaking. Okay, so we have 2 teams, Team 1 and Team 2, and if I can have one volunteer from Team 1 here, and Soledad, can you be the volunteer? If you can just move your chair a little bit back, that's fine. Thank you, Hyungbom. Okay. So Soledad and Hyungbom, don't look. I'm going to write a word and your team will explain the word to you. It's an education word. Okay? And the first person I hear can have 1 point. So no cheating, no looking. Okay. Okay, go.
It's a school for everybody. Not
public. No, it's not state.
Oh, well done, Soledad. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Okay, and change. Different person. Different person. Swap over. Ready? Oh, better change that when you're cheating. Okay, go.
An intensive course. When you
Very intensive course.
crash course.
Yeah.
Very good, very quick over here. Okay, next person. Swap over. Make sure you're not looking. I trust you. Ready? Okay, go.
Not a student, but
Small lecturer. No.
What of the opposite of teacher?
Students.
Yeah.
Very
Well
young
done.
student.
Okay, one more, last chance, guys. You're just not quite quick enough.
Roman.
Ready? Okay, go.
This exam, then you're 16 years old when you.
GCSE.
Yeah.
I'll give you both a point. Being generous. Okay, guys, thank you. You can sit back down. Everyone's awake.
Where did you get this game from?
Okay, go. Someone showed it to me in Brazil, actually, my first teaching job.
It's a terrific game, isn't it? It's really
It's great because it kind of works with all levels, grammar, vocabulary.
What was your reaction to watching those games clips?
It was a really good reminder of sort of how much fun games are in class and how much students generally, as a rule, enjoy doing them.
Why did you use a game in your lesson, and what was it for? What stage of the lesson did it occur in?
This was right at the beginning of the lesson, so it served as a warmer to energise the students after lunchtime. And also I wanted to recycle some of the vocabulary they'd been looking at and learning all week to prepare them for the listening and the reading activity that followed.
Do you use games a lot?
I probably do use games quite a lot to recycle vocabulary or to introduce a topic, or maybe as a diagnostic activity to see sort of exactly how much vocabulary students know about a particular topic.
What are the sort of key characteristics of a good game then?
I think an element of competition to kind of motivate them to take part. They love team games because obviously they're not put on the spot and asked to kind of produce things individually. So an element of competition, teams, and I guess sort of fast-paced activities.
This is a very unfair question, but do you have a favourite game? One that you like more than the others?
I have to say the Backs to the Board is probably one of my favourite games because it's so simple and you can use it for all levels of students. I mean, this was a proficiency group, but it can be used with beginners. It can be used with sort of single lexical items or whole sentences. So it can be used for grammatical forms as well. So that probably is my favourite.
My name's Philippa Titley, but most people call me Pip. I've been teaching English for about 10 years. I taught in China for a year and I taught in Spain for a year. And ever since then, I've been teaching English here in the UK.
I'm Philip. I've been a teacher for 20 years. I've taught in London and also in Paris, and at the moment I teach mostly high levels, particularly the proficiency exam.
My name's Louise and I've been teaching for about 6 years now. I started working in Brazil and I've since worked in Colombia and in Mexico. And at the moment I'm working in Wimbledon at a language school and also at College of Further Education, teaching a combination of general English and some exam courses.
My name's Mark. I've been teaching for 6 years. I started teaching because I wanted to live in Barcelona for a year, having been on holiday there. So I trained to be a teacher in Barcelona, taught there for a year, came back to London, got a job teaching, and just kept on doing it because I started to enjoy it. I haven't looked back since, and I haven't worked anywhere else since either.
Hi, I'm Pip. I've been teaching English for about 9 years now. I started out teaching in Milan in Italy, teaching business people. Then I moved back to London and taught in a private language school for 2 years before going abroad again to Belize, where I taught in a primary school in a Spanish-speaking area. And I've been back in England teaching for about 5 years now.
Hi, my name's Chris McDermott. I've been teaching English now for just over 8 years. Started my teaching career in this country before moving abroad. I taught for a year in Italy, a year in Spain, before coming back to England. And I've been working in London for about 3 years now. Currently working at Wimbledon School of English, where I've been for about 18 months.
Bye.